So welcome back, it's Philly here at Fidelity Factory, and we're continuing on with our project team management app. And today we're actually going to patch our information from our form on our detail screen. We're going to use a patch statement to save it and actually update our Sharepoint list. So this is definitely where things get a bit tricky and can get a bit dicey. So let's see how we do. Up till now we've added these lists, so we can this form we can pick anyone here. We can pick someone from our company, set to allow you to kind of search for people. So there's Rem. I'm going to just stick with me. Pick myself, this video, and I've got a project name and a comment. They're just two text boxes, so very straightforward. And when we hit save, we'll want to actually write this to our Sharepoint list. So let's look at some of this. So first of all, I'm going to actually rename my little button here so that it's a BTN, and let's just call it save. Just so that it's clear when we're coming back to this in a few months' time what's going on and what that actually relates to. So we're going to go to our onSelect property of our button. So when we click it, when we select it, we want it to actually save. And I'm going to start off by just trying out a basic patch. I'm not going to put in much logic. We're going to come back to this and kind of build this up as we go. But I'm going to patch, and that's pretty much what the term we use for writing to the Sharepoint list. So I'm going to patch that list, which is called Project Team Management List. And I'm going to patch that and each of the items in there. So I open up a curly brace here, and you can see it's already kind of guessing what I want to do. So I'm going to start off with my employee. So I want to patch my employee with whatever I've selected here. So that is, let's look at our form. What is that? That's our data card value 9, it's called. No, it's not labeled that nicely. Let's actually give it a nicer name. Let's rename this and call it CBO employee. And it's a bit annoying that the forms don't actually give you kind of nicer named things. Let's name each of these before going any further. Let's rename this as just a TXT project. And let's label the last one as TXT comment. I'm not going to label the other bits around it. I just don't really feel it's necessary right now anyway. So let's get back to our patch statement. So on our save button, now I've got my employee, and I want to take in whatever is selected on my CBO employee. So I'm going to put in CBO employee. Now it's going to need a little bit more information than that. So dot, and what I'm going to select, it's dot selected, and it still has that little red mark. So you see what I'm looking at. And what actually we're going to use to patch this is claims, which is a little bit unusual. It's this big kind of item here. But that's what Sharepoint will recognize. It wouldn't recognize your display name or anything because it needs to take in something so it knows this whole record, that's me. It includes my picture, my name, my email, all my information. So claims is what we use for that. The other two should be easier. We're going to patch our project field, which I think we enabled this TXT project. Now we're going to say TXT project.text. That's one thing that you could easily forget. And our comment should be the other field. And we'll want TXT comment. And we're going to go .text again. Close our curly bracket, close our round bracket, and see what it tells us then. Something is missing or wrong, but to be honest, you'd be expecting something like that. So employee found does not match the exact record. So let's see what is going wrong for us here. Dot selected. Maybe we could go with just dot selected for now and see what happens. Oh, and there we go. Just dot selected. Sometimes different things work at different in different cases. Right now, all we actually really need is our dot selected. So interesting. I had overestimated. So now let's see what happens actually. If we got me, we got our project, this video, And here's my comment. Let's see what happens when we hit save. Kind of looked good. Looked like something would have happened. There's no red dot there. Let's check out our SharePoint list. Let's hit refresh. And you can see it down there. It's after adding to our list. So, Philip Bryant, this video. Here's my comment. So, good feeling when you see that. You know it's actually writing, which is great. Now, one thing is, let's hop back to our gallery. It's not actually visible there just yet because we need to refresh our items. So one way of doing that would be to kind of go over here and hit refresh on the actual data source, but we're going to need this option in the app anyway. So I'm going to add a little reload icon here, and I'm going to pop this down in the bottom corner here. So I'm going to shorten up my gallery, but I'm going to put my refresh button, my reload button down here, like always. Going to make that purple color just uniform. And now on this button I'm going to do a refresh, and I can actually just give it the order to refresh that SharePoint list. So let's say if I was using this app, I'm not going into that SharePoint list, I can hit this button. And one thing is, it's after refreshing the SharePoint list, but what we're actually showing here isn't the SharePoint list. So we also have to get it to collect up our information as well. So I'm going to refresh our project management list, but also clear collect our call project management list. So I'm going to clear collect that from our project. So now what we're doing is it's refreshing our SharePoint list, but it's also creating our collection again. When we displayed this, we created a collection. And so now when I hit this button, you'll notice it added that last item down here, which is great. Now one element that's in there is that I have not the ability just yet to edit one of my items. So it'll only just create new items. So we're going to have to look at that. So let's do that in the next video. Let's look at editing an existing item. Right now we've just made it so that we can create a new item. Well, in the next video, we're going to show you how to edit a new item.